as much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
I didn't say I'm saying you're potentially going to miss out on a dude if you're not at least attempt. I'm not saying you got to turn your life upside down for a guy, but I think it actually shows a degree of effort to make an attempt to make yourself available.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to cancel pre-existing plans.
Yeah.
But if you're impossible to schedule something with, I'm not waiting around for you. I'm on to the next one.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying be impossible to get a hold of, but I'm saying be busy. Don't be, and that's just, you should be busy. You should have things occupying your time, and you shouldn't be canceling them for him. Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't be every single time he texts you and he wants to see you, you're available, because you should have shit going on in your life.
But would you prescriptively tell a woman, like, let's say she's not busy.
I would say get busy.
But would you tell her, let's say she's not, would you say, well, create the air that you are busy, even if you're just staying at home?
I would say get actually busy. You need to have actual hobbies or interests or passions or something. That would be my advice. And that's my advice for men too. And I'm saying, like, with the people that I've worked with and knowing people on the upper end of society, they're there unless they've had, generational wealth. And then they're not dating like any of us are dating as it is. But the people who are successful and who have made a lot of money, they're going to be busy. And they don't want somebody who's just nagging at them and trying to get their attention.
Yeah, but I don't think it's, as a woman, you're either really, really busy and you're going to have to occasionally tell a guy that you're not free, or you're just really, really on him. Like, I think there's a medium. So I don't know, this idea that, okay, just be busy. I don't know. When
I wrote that, it was because I was talking to a friend who is not busy ever. And she's just like, I can't, she invests her everything, her time, her energy, her money, everything into the dudes she dates. And then they don't stick around. And I was like, yeah, because you made him the center of your whole world. You gave him everything, all your energy. You can't do that. You got to give you your energy. Do your passions and the things that you love and that make up your life. Make a full, fulfilling life. Because otherwise, you might as well date them.
She's trying her best to make it all sound nice and everything. But you guys got to remember, she did say inconvenient. And inconvenient is inconvenient.
The little ladies that you got in the corner. If you want them to be hot and ready, oh, that's Little Caesars, not Arby's slogan. Damn. If you want them to have the meats, go to this lady.
I mean, there's just scenarios where when you're trying to actually move something forward with somebody, and they basically make it really, really difficult. They make it a pain in the ass to actually get on that date. Hey, some guys might stick around. I think a lot of guys are just going to move on to somebody who's a bit more available.
Well, what do you consider a pain in the ass, just so I know where you're coming from?
It's like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I might want to see you sometime within the next month would be nice. And some people are booked up the entire month. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah, if you are booking a month out, God bless. You sound like you have a very fulfilling life. Dating's probably not for you. You don't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to be emotionally available.
Right. You have to be emotionally available, and you do have to be able to take an appointment within a calendar month. Yeah. I'm not saying be crazy with it. But again, imagine your girl that you're talking to. Mm-hmm. All she does all day, she doesn't do work. She doesn't go to work. She doesn't go to school. She doesn't do nothing. No hobbies. She likes to sit in bed and
think about me
and TikTok and then think about you.
Sign me up.
I would love to point you again in the direction to the blow-up dolls that you have in the corner of the studio.
Well, I mean, so what would you say to women who have a desire to be stay-at-home wives?
Wives or mothers?
Both.
Mothers, good on you. That sounds like a hell of a lot of work. Wives, do you have a farmstead or something? Or you got to have something in your day. If you want to be a stay-at-home wife and your man can afford that and everything, like, that's why those women become the beneficiaries of like charities, and they get on the board with stuff. They get involved. Nobody just
take care of the house. We're going to jump to this. Andrew Tate, ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you.
Am I rating what I...
Actually, wait.
Okay.
Wait, here. Actually, you know what? Here's how I want to do this. Anybody here a 10?
Say so.
She's a 5.5.
Okay, we're starting with you then. What do you rate your looks on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say for myself and for my future husband, I'd see myself as a 10.
What?
How? Hold on, bro. How?
What do you mean for your future husband?
Like, I think my future husband will see me as a 10. There are plenty of men out there who might think I'm a 2 or a 3 or whatever, but me and my future husband will think I'm a 10.
She's a 5.
Okay, you wanted to...
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same lines. I think that I'm a 10 in my own, like, I think I'm beautiful.
Okay.
Same thing. Not everybody may think that I'm beautiful, and
Sure.
that's fine, but I think that I'm beautiful. I'm a 10. If you don't think that I'm a 10, that's your personal opinion. I'm cool with that.
Okay, so now we'll just go around the table, starting with you. Go ahead.
I'm a 5.
I agree. She's a 5.
Okay. Go ahead.
Maybe an 8 for myself, I guess.
She's also a 5.
Okay.
I personally think that I'm I see myself as a 3. I think society probably it's more like 5.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a 5.
I'll say 6. Yeah, I feel like that's being kind to myself.
A 5.5.
I think I'm an 8.
She's a 5 also.
Holly?
I was a 5 about a month ago, and I think I went down to a 3. And hopefully by the end of summer, I'll be on my way back up.
I agree. She's a solid 3.
Okay. So we have 5, 8, 3, 10, 6, 8, 3, 10. I give myself a 5. Okay. So we got some 10s here. I want to talk to the 10s at the table. We have some very beautiful women at the table. Every show, I manage to get the most beautiful women on the table. Well, don't get ahead of yourself. So for the two 10s, here's what I want to do. I want each of you to name another woman, preferably like a celebrity who we could look up, you think is a 10. Starting with you. We've heard Megan Fox.
Yeah, no, I would say like energy matters above all else. But
No,
if I were to just look
looks.
physically, then I'd say like Angelina Jolie. She's a 10.
Angelina Jolie. Let's do young Angelina or current.
I haven't seen current photos of her.
Let's just do young Angelina. Let's do young. So do that. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's young Angelina.
Mm-hmm.
Young Angelina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what about you? Who's a female 10?
Maybe Sweetie.
All right. Sweetie, you know who that is, Nick?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You don't know Sweetie?
The singer?
Sweetie.
She's still young.
Maybe like a modern picture.
She kind of looks like Sierra from Love Island.
Yeah, you don't have to put young 'cause she's
Okay.
like 22, I think.
Oh, is she? I didn't know she was that young.
Maybe she's not that
Okay.
young, but she's young still.
All right. Okay. So you would say, you said Angelina Jolie is a 10. You would say that like you're kind of on par with Angelina Jolie?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I think we look different, and I think
Sure.
I think she's a gorgeous woman. I think from a universal standpoint of like if people were just judging her purely based on appearance, she would be rated a 10 or something close to it. But everybody has different preferences. Some people would think she's a 2 or a 3. But like I said, for myself and for my future husband, I think that I am a 10. We're just beautiful in our own rights, just in different ways.
So that was a lie.
Okay. And then
I'm sorry, but you're not coming close to a prime Angelina Jolie. Try again.
what about you? You on par with Sweetie?
Honestly, We got the same mind, because I was thinking the same thing, you know, like, yeah, people may think that, oh, Sweetie's way more bomb than me, and like that's totally valid, but me, like, the way that I see myself, like, yeah, I am on par, I am as bad as Sweetie, just because, like, that's just how I see myself. And same thing, you know, I may not be a 10 to everybody, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I feel like I'm really secure in my looks where I feel like I can say I'm a 10.
Well, at least you're closer to Sweetie than she is to Angelina Jolie. You got that at least.
Then you were going to ask something, or?
I think I was going to add something earlier, but that already flew out of my brain.
It was related to this though, right? Or
was it? I don't remember.
I thought you were like, can I say something or whatever? Okay.
Oh, wait, I do remember actually.
Okay,
yeah. I just want to say, I think everybody on the table should claim themselves as a 10, you know?
Here we go again.
Like, I feel like how you rate yourself is like...
Erroneous.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like how you rate yourself should be like how you feel about yourself. So, you know, if you feel like you're a 10, then you will be a 10.
I mean, it was on my...
Where have I heard those exact same words from? Oh, yeah. Last week on the Whatever podcast.
looks. Like, I think I don't look like the most perfect human being. Like, when I look at someone, I'm like, that person is fully perfect. I don't feel that. And it's okay. I'm not saying I want to be that person, but I'm logical. Like, that's what I fucking look like.
So here's, here's the next thing I'd like to do. Name a guy who is a 10 that we can Google.
Like, looks?
Starting with you.
So this is a good question. I would say my like childhood crush was like a young Chris Pine.
Oh my god, me too.
Young Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for you?
Man, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not really like, I don't really think about like celebrities like that.
There's no
so,
guy you could name that's just like good looking.
The guy that I can name is Gojo Satoru.
Who?
He's an anime character.
Y'all smoking crack! Something is wrong with you people!
It's got a weeb over here.
I know you're not saying that with all the Dragon Ball stuff behind me.
Gotcha, bitch!
It is true. There's a lot of Dragon Ball statues. And, yeah, but you know, that's like mainstream shit.
It's not mainstream or whatever.
Dragon Ball Z is like the most popular anime ever.
So just because she knows one that's less popular, she's like...
Yeah, it makes you more of a... Yeah, if you know like
a little boy
niche
dweeby.
thing,
What anime is your guy from?
Is it
Jujutsu Kaisen.
All right, that's a little niche.
It's
It's a little niche, but it's
I mean,
fine.
it's kind of popular, I guess. I think I heard about it like 20 years ago or something. Louise, thank you for the gifted 10 memberships. Okay, so young Chris Pine, let's get that pulled up. Can you make it bigger? Oh, that works too. Make it bigger. bigger. Okay, all right. Handsome guy, young Chris Pine. And then, do you want to give us a human or something?
I can't even think of one. Let's see. A 10, like, just off looks.
Yeah, just looks.
What's his name? The guy that was in Megan Thee Stallion's song. I think it's like Yuki Kaiba or something.
Oh, the Japanese rapper.
Yeah. Do you know his name?
No, but he's cute. I think
he is pretty cute.
Yeah, I don't remember his name though. Probably just Google Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, I also think I think 21 Savage is pretty attractive too. I know that's not popular, but I think he's pretty attractive.
We all have different
All that
types. Yeah.
matters. Oh, I'm sorry.
I honestly don't know what either of them look like, so this will be fun.
Do we have photos or? Yeah, I like this one better. So he's a 10. That's a 10 for you.
I think he's attractive. He's
cute. So you want me to think I'm a 10?
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I mean, but are you factoring in like his status and his?
No,
Or
if
rap
we're
skills,
if we're
whatever.
being honest, he's really funny, and that's kind of like what like.
Wait, isn't he?
No, he's definitely alive.
He's
definitely
British.
alive.
That was like a big scandal. They found out he was secretly British.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So, a woman that you listed as a 10 is Angelina Jolie. Here, I'm gonna do one fucking thing at a time. And then the guy who you listed as a 10 is Chris Pine. So you say you're on par with Angelina Jolie, and a looks match for you would be Chris Pine.
That's an interesting question. Again, I think that we're all different. I don't know whether or not Chris Pine would go for me because his preferences. Right?
But maybe he would.
If he could, though.
Maybe you're his exact type.
Like, if he found me attractive, I found him attractive.
Is he watching?
Chris Pine at me.
He was like, so this idea of your partner will find you to be a 10. Like, for example, if you were dating a guy and he was like, say he was a bit more blunt, and you asked him, you're like, what do you rate me? And he said, oh, I'd give you like a 6. Would you?
So I think it's a little more
offended, or?
multidimensional than that. I think that if I was having a conversation with my husband, let's say, I think that when he looked at me and he perceived me, he would say, Emily, you're a beautiful woman and you're a 10 in my eyes. And then if we took it into the context of, okay, but let's take it from a societal standpoint or take it from a universal standpoint of if you did the BuzzFeed poll, what you would be rated. Those might not be congruent, but that doesn't mean that my husband doesn't see me as the most beautiful woman in the world, or I don't see him as the most attractive. Would I believe? Of course, because those are my values.
Here's me. If I'm dating a girl, I would almost be upset or offended if she was like, I think you're better looking than Brad Pitt when he was 25. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You're lying.
But maybe she's not, because she's also if you're dating her,
but
then she's also taking.
I know
but
she likes me.
She can't separate all that, because now you've got sentiment and experiences and the way you make her feel. Like, she's not going to be able to separate
she
that.
She likes me because of all those things. But if we're just having a conversation about looks,
of course,
I think if you're in love or in a relationship with somebody, I don't think that pulls like wool over your eyes to the point where you can't just assess that, like, okay, there is possibly somebody who could be better looking than my partner.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I agree with Brian. Just because you're with someone and you've grown a lot of feelings for them shouldn't blind you from what they actually look like. Let's take off the blinders and have a real conversation.
Come on, you can't so once you're in love, you can't make a determination that, like, okay, it's probably the case that I don't know who's like Megan Fox is better looking than you know.
Yeah, but
the girlfriend or whatever.
I think
we're not going to find alignment on this, because again, I don't think that it's you necessarily going, oh, does Brad Pitt have better abs than me? Then yeah, she might say yes, but like in terms of
it could be facial attractiveness too.
I think my husband's the most attractive man.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Exactly.
I do have photos. No, I really do.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, you say that.
I do say that.
But are you saying physically, looks wise, he's the most attractive guy? But
I can't separate how I feel about him, though.
But is this one of those things that you say because it can come to the detriment of your relationship?
No, I didn't have to say anything.
The truth. No, I know, but like, for example, if a girl, this old trope of, hey, do I look fat in this dress? Like, it's probably not the right move to say that she looks fat if she actually looks fat.
Yeah,
like,
I
that's
get what
probably
you're
not
saying.
the right move from an interpersonal dynamic thing.
No, I get what you're saying, but I didn't have to say anything. He's not here or watching this.
No,
so.
I know.
So in my case, I'm just being honest.
I know, but
okay, fine. You feel like your man is the best looking guy out there. No problem. But what do you really think?
There is a component of when you have a spouse or you have a relationship, you're going to say things to side with your spouse that might not actually be the reality.
And I agree with that.
I don't entirely agree with that. For me and my partner, I always expect from him and from for him, for me too, like, to be honest and to have standards. Like, you know, for example, like, I'm not afraid to tell the guy that I'm dating, hey, it seems like you've been letting yourself go recently, but not from a place of, okay, I am only just because I'm less attracted to, because I actually care about their health and that they're taking care of their body. So, and I don't want my husband to lie to me either. Like the guys that I've dated previously, when I go, when I'm wearing something like a different outfit and I ask them what their opinion is on it, they always give me the truth. So I don't look like a fool, because they love me and respect me way too much to allow me to go out into the world in something that is not going to be appealing. They might disagree. I might disagree with their opinion, where sometimes I'm like, well, actually, babe, I feel hot. So, but that doesn't mean that I don't value their opinion, though.
Let's face it, if a guy wants to date, he's going to tell you that you're beautiful. He's going to blow smoke up your ass to get laid, okay? Yeah. And, you know, if they're not going to come up to you and go, oh, God, you need help. You need to lose weight. You need a facelift. You need a tummy tuck. They're not going to do that. I get freaking strangers coming up going, you're beautiful. And I'm looking around going, bitchin'. He thinks I'm beautiful. I love you too, baby. Where have you been my whole life? You know, I mean, seriously.
I think
she's keeping it 100. Guys are going to tell you whatever you want to hear to maintain sex throughout the relationship. It is what it is.
It's better to just be like honest with ourselves and with our partners that, okay, I'm a 5, you're a 5, you're great, I love you, but you're a fucking 5. It's fine. It's like, it doesn't, you don't have to be like, you're a 10 in my eyes, because he's not a 10 in your eyes. Because when you see someone better looking, you know that person is better looking. We know that.
But beauty's so in the eye of the beholder, because I don't think you're a 5. I think you're a 9. Like,
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
You're objectively really hot.
She wants to break her off a piece.
She's already said she's not into girls, and that's fine. But I am saying you are objectively an attractive woman, and like maybe you see yourself as a 5, but I see you as a 9, and I'm sure there's.
Nobody's saying she's unattractive, okay? But we're not gonna call her a 9 because she's not. She's a 5, and 5s are attractive enough.
I put you as a 10.
Just one point of clarification. So, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but she's objectively a beautiful woman.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
So if you put me next to someone that is like doesn't really go to a gym or doesn't have, you know, certain things that I do, and then you're gonna know that person is not. It's a little bit not as good looking as me, and it's fine. That's like, I think that's what the whole conversation is. There's people that are look-wise elite. I believe that there's elites in everything. There's people that are better than other people, and I do believe that honestly, this is, you guys gonna hate me, but I do believe that men in general are better than women, and I agree with that, and I will always agree with that are better, and I want them in my life, and I wish I had like a father figure that was better than me, that was better than my mom, that took care of me, that I wouldn't be here. And if I had a man that is like, I want my man to be better than me, and that's why we're where we are in society, because we don't want to agree with it. And then now we have women in power, and we're here arguing about if there's better looking people or not. Like,
what is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
With her mentality, her ratings go up. There's nothing sexier than a girl that's living in reality and keeping it truthful.
Was brought up by a man.
But so look, beauty, it's not objective in the strictest philosophical sense, but there are measurable things when it does come to beauty that are partly predictable, partly measurable. And I think, like, for example, there are certain universals that I think you would find if we were to show a picture of a really ugly person and a really beautiful person, I think there would be almost universally. Now, there might be a couple people who are like, I think the really ugly person is more beautiful, whether they're being honest or not, hard to say. But I think if, for example, 99.99% of the population agreed that the one who is really beautiful is more beautiful, that does point to some degree of, there are some components of beauty that are objective.
I think that's still not the case, because like, okay, obesity, for example, here in the US, that's a hard no. We don't like that. We don't see that as a beautiful thing. No, in Samoa, in Maori culture, and in South Africa, the bigger the better. They love women who are obese. If a woman's my size, they're like, you're way too thin.
Wait.
It's funny how they want to run all the way to Africa to justify their big girl beauty standards, but they're not thinking about it clearly at all. The only reason some of these big girls are coveted in some of these African nations is because food is scarce. The bigger the girl, the healthier and wealthier she appears. That's it.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. It's the media that's been leading you, I'll show you a thing. Misdirection, what's the message? They don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.